This is just a quick introduction into blues playing. A little different than other videos, but I just want to share that blues is one of the most important genres of music, especially for rock and roll and heavy metal and those sorts of things. It's like the building block of most things. um, and I would like to start with some 12-bar blues, meaning I'm playing configuration of blues chords, which are known as 7 chords. So for example, there's a D7 chord right here. And we'll just play very basic melodies with, D7, and you're gonna move up to A7, and up towards E7. All together, you have a D7. Pretty cool. There's also other blue chords like the B7 chord. A little slower. So D7, which is just the first fret on the B string. Second fret on the high E, and second on the G. And in A7, you're just doing the A shape, but you're just taking on your ring finger. And for the E shape, your E7 shape, you're just doing an E chord, but you're just moving the ring finger. And soon enough, you can add your own blemishes. Very cool stuff. Also, the picking pattern. Normally when you play music, you're doing a up, down, up, just alternate picking. We could say you're playing a D chord, just something very nice like that. In blues, it's a little slower. You play that groovy kind of blues. You're just down, up, down, up. Same as alternate picking, but we're just slowing things down a bit. Use the same chords before, but I'm just rearranging them. So I went with D7 first, up to E7, down to A. Some cool techniques I like to share is that I can do what I know as a double stop. what does a double stop mean? It means that if I select a string, let's say we're gonna go with the 2nd fret right over here on the G. I can just slide, use my finger slide. Normally I like to do it with 2 strings, so I'll just bar the whole thing. I'll play the string above it, normally D and G. Or I can just hammer, get that cool sound. You know, I can just play these 2 strings here and hammer on here. Or I can go at it. I'm just playing the bass note. And especially with distortion, it has this nice, cool blues sound to it. Extremely cool. And you see that in a lot of rock and roll. You will see a lot of guitar players do double stops on the guitar. It enhances the guitar playing itself, you know. It just makes more volume. It's a big spot, you know. Say you don't know chords up here, right? Like you're just playing along. It's very quiet, but I can run into this progression. Just going. I'm gonna stick with the 5 and 7 for now. This is normally like the blues area over here, the cool blues shreddy area. My correction, sticking with 3 and 5, not 5 and 7. This is 5 and 7. This is 3 and 5. And also, you can do double stops. You don't have to move. You can just do it in the same place. You can just, just bar here and let go. It's like a cowboy thing, you know? Country blues, you know, it's a subgenre of blues. Got country blues, I think it's like one of the cool ones I like to play a lot, just playing these. Always with blues, I've always liked to play a little chunk of my finger. Anything that's a common theme for me is like because you can get those pinch marks pretty easy. Especially if like a distortion bit comes along, I can just go. A lot of bands like ZZ Top, for example, are masters of this. There's also other blemishes that I like to share. For example, let's say I don't know any chords. I just know this basic F chord. I can do what I call a Hendrickism, and I can move this chord where I want to play a scale. Let's say I want to play this. But it becomes very empty after that. I can just play. Now, why is that chord that I move works here? One, because there's no open strings in the duration of this chord. I'm not playing up here, and I'm not playing this open string down here. I'm not playing the high E, low E, or A string. I'm just playing the strings that my hands are fretted on. So when I do that, if I leave an open string out, it sounds out of tune. It doesn't sound right. And the case is true for chords like E. You can move that around. You're just moving these open chords that are not surrounded by any open strings on the fretboard. Other chords, for example, like this chord right here. It's a very cool way to diversify your sound without knowing a lot of chords. You may not know how to play bar chords yet, but you may know how to play one of those super cool chords. They're just called Hendrickisms, in a way. Very cool chord. But it doesn't work all the time. Sometimes they'll apply open strings. For example, A minor string, A minor chord, like up here. That worked perfectly because it's meant for that pitch. But if I play this over here, this big bass note, heavy bass note gets in the way of it. I can play it without playing the open A string here. A very mysterious chord. That's for tossing and turning around things. So we can go back to our F example. I like to do flicking like this. It's very cool for blues playing. Just gonna leave it at that. This is just a quick introduction to blues playing. A little different, of course, but it's always worth mentioning that you can always have some cool chords hanging around. big part of blues playing is having multiple effects, meaning having an example like a wah wah pedal, which I do have. I'm not gonna play with it now because I'm done with this video, but wah wah pedal is great for blues. For a wah wah pedal, if you get a pedal, you have to adjust the pedal. As you go down on the pedal, the wah wah becomes harder, becomes more wanch, if you want to call it. And you go up, it's the opposite. So a lot of people just go like this. At certain times, you just want to just do this very slightly and then come back up, or they're just honking like this. For blues, main players, majority of players will just be using distortion. You know, I use distortion. Which is a big part of sound. Just find what works for you and just